Alright guys, we're going to go over the strategy that we've been using for Molten Fortress. The idea with this one is that we come in with 3 Lepics and somebody to grapple and hold the weak points. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with holding the weak points. It will prevent the rage meter from increasing. So you hold on to it as long as you can, and then you break at the last second. We're going to show the Lepics. I'm sure you've seen the builds, but we'll go over the Lepic build for it as well that we're using. And you hold on to 1 weak point, so you shoot the weak point and you make it so that it's yellow, and then you grapple onto it. The one person will hold on to it while all the Lepics use their arm cannon and do as much damage as they possibly can. While the boss is down, you can also start working on the next weak point, or if you can't get to it because it's on the other side, just do as much damage as you can, and then you'll start to shoot the second weak point as best you can and grapple onto it. Ideally, if you've got enough damage, you'll skip the mechanic for it and just rinse and repeat with that. It's possible as well, if you don't break, if the person falls off of the vent, you can go back to that vent as well and hold on to it again once the Lepics are ready. Ideally, if you pick 2 Lepics to respawn as quick as possible, they'll come back and be ready so you can grapple right on and do the damage again. Or if you have 3 Lepics in your group, you can just wait out the timer, the cooldown timer, and then have them all go once their cooldown is ready. Let's go see how this works out. Okay guys, let me show you the Lepic build that we are using for the Molten Fortress, or actually any of the bosses. This is what I've been using. It's not tailor-made for any specific boss, but it seems to work very well with all of them. The important thing about this build comes down to a whole bunch of different things. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the reactor. I have mine that's Fire Tech. You want to get a mounting that has an impact round for it. So mine is a Naz Devotion, which is the green ammo. So this works out perfect for it. I'll explain the reason for that in a minute, but this is important to get a mounting for a green item, green ammo item. You can also go, I've been told, but I have not found one yet, but getting a Fire Tech extra damage to Colossus and crit damage reactors are better. You'll get more damage from that as well. The reason that we want the mounting on a impact weapon is because it has this card right here, this mod, Sharp Precision Shot. This reduces the fire rate, but the longer you hold the trigger down, the faster the fire rate goes. This gives us the quickest time for the stacks to happen, the 0.4 seconds, so it gets us shooting the arm cannon much, much faster. The gun also, the fire rate part of it applies to the arm cannon as well. So this here negates the 20% fire rate downside from this one, gives us 5% more, and then as we hold the trigger down, it shoots faster. So I think we have like Blue Beetles being used, you know, any of the impact ones. So I use Naz Devotion just because that's what I found, but any of them will help with it. We're also looking at the modules. These modules are important for it. The auxiliary power, this is the best rolls that I've got so far, but we're looking for max HP and MP recovery out of combat. The max HP is in case something goes wrong, we can survive hits. The MP recovery out of combat, it's a very interesting one. You can be pretty close to enemies, but if they aren't looking at you or shooting at you and you're not shooting at them, your MP will just start to recover. So you'll be able to get your arm cannon back, be able to use it without running around collecting all the blue cubes. For the sensor, this is also a super, super important one. Max MP just means that we can shoot more of the fireballs. So that one is a very important one. And then MP recovery in combat. This is every time we shoot the arm cannon, we gain MP back from it, so that you can shoot more of them. The memory, I've gone with MP recovery modifier. So this will let us, when we pick up the blue cubes, it'll give us back more MP for it, and defense. I do like to be a little bit, you know, have some health and defense so that I can withstand stuff when things go wrong. If you're looking to just nuke the boss and leave, then you don't need to worry about that so much, but I still like it. I use this this build for groups or solo. Seems to be pretty good. And for the processor, I've gone with max shield and shield recovery modifier. Again, I figure that anything that gives me a little bit of extra damage is good. So those are the ones that I go with. Now let's get right into the mods. So for the mods, we are obviously going to use Firearm Master. This is what gives us our extra damage and range. So you can see in the video that I'll reload my gun first, and then I'll activate my second skill and then my fourth skill. When you switch to the fourth skill, that counts as changing your weapon, so your skill power goes up, and the extra range for reloading beforehand makes the balls have a bigger radius and does more damage for it, because you're more likely to keep them inside the radius for it. For this card, I don't think it matters which one you use, but I do use long distance maneuvering. This one helps for getting onto the grapple points if I choose to do that. I'm running Battle of Stamina. This gives us extra health, but more skill duration. I'm using Dangerous Ambush. This one lets us get more damage when the enemy is not attacking us, not targeting us, or when they stagger. Once they stagger, we're doing almost 50% more damage. I'm using Skill Concentration, so crit hit damage. I'm using MP Accelerant for more MP and skill duration. I'm using Skill Insight for more crit chance on the skills. I'm using Emergency Measure for more skill crit, hit, and damage. We're using Frontlines for more skill crit hit rate and damage. We're using Skill Extension for more duration, and then we're going with Fire Specialist and Technician to up our base damage for skill power and for fire. There might be better ways to make this, but this is what we've been using, and it's been working well on all of the hard bosses that we've been using it for. Alright, we're getting started here. So I am just shooting the gun so that I can just reload to get the bonuses for Lepic. Our first goal here is to shoot the weak point as quick as we can to make it so that it is yellow and that we can grapple onto it. I like to go up high for this. It makes it easy to avoid the rockets that he's shooting out there. You just shoot the weak point until it goes yellow. Then we're going to have Fake will go jump on it as soon as he can. Sometimes he turns around and is a bit of a nuisance, but we just want to make that yellow like that. We shoot, we reload, we activate our second skill and then our fourth skill, and we just shoot the fireballs as much as we can. We try to avoid the weak points though, because we don't want to break them. We want Fake to break that as he is just about to run out of stamina. And then we can start prepping the second one. So we can get the second weak point orange or yellow, so that it's prepared for this one. Now Devil and myself are going to abandon and reset just by getting burned in the fire. And then as soon as that second weak point is ready, Fake is going to grapple onto it again. So I'm ready whenever it is ready.
I'm on it.
Okay, so we reload, we activate our second skill, we activate our arm cannon, and then we shoot, avoiding the weak point again. When done correctly like that, we get to bypass all of the mechanics. The rage meter doesn't fill up while somebody is grappling on, or after they break it and the Molten Fortress collapses. I will now show you how to do the grapple part. Okay, so I'm going to show you the grappling part of this strategy now. I'm going to be using Valby for it. We're just going to shoot the weak point and try to get on the vent as quick as we can. I'm using Valby, just she's got my most HP for this one. So that's it. I'm throwing the water down, trying not to hit the Molten Fortress with it, but it bounced the wrong way for me. So we just shoot the weak point here. Once it goes yellow, we just grapple onto it. You hold your aim button so that it doesn't shake you off. And then you just hit your attack button so that the red bar at the top there gets pretty low. We're now watching the bar to our right. Once that gets really, really low, we're just going to say break. And we're going to shoot the boss while we can to do some damage to it. As soon as it stands up, we're going to stop. and we're going to go over to the weak point. Ideally, if you can be on the side that has the vent, you can be shooting the vent for it. Unfortunately, for where we are grappling, we won't be able to get that vent, but the other guys can be shooting at it right away. We're just going to make our way over to this. We want to hear that our 2 Lepics are ready so that they've reset.
Almost.
Okay.
And ready.
Once they're back, now that they're back, we just grapple up again. We hold our aim button so that we delay this as much as possible and they don't shake us off. We're going to start punching the weak point so that it goes down to the 1 shot away from it. Once it's 1 shot away, we just hold on to it until it's time to break. Now we're going to... Perfect, they killed it before I could break it. So once again, what I've done for this one is I've put as much HP as I can. I've looked for the auxiliary power that has HP, and fire resistance on it. For the sensor, I've gone for HP. For the memory, I've gone with HP defense. And for the processor, I've gone with max HP as well. This one gives me 18,000 HP. It makes me feel very, very tanky when I'm fighting that. It does not matter what Descendant you use, but you want to get as much HP as possible on it. So I think I'm running 6,000 defense and 18,000 max HP, and it seems to hold up very, very well for it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this strategy helps some people out, and we'll catch you next time.